Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? Hump day down. Doesn't feel like a hump day since, we got a late start to the week with the holiday. But it is hump day. And, what a difference a day makes. That's kind of all I can say. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, I could do no wrong. Today, I could do no right. So, hey, that's trading. That's what we signed up for. It's going to be that way. What we have to do is stick to our process and, come in every day with the same mindset and making it happen. So speaking of mindsets, that kind of goes with the message I have for you today. A fresh start isn't a new place. It's a new mindset. Reason why I say that is because I know a lot of you are like I was. I went to several different communities when I first started. And the thing is, I wasn't looking for the right things. Okay, but I didn't have the right mindset. So I was going with the same mindset from place to place, thinking I'm going to find something different. It may feel different. It may, give me a different sensation. But if I have the same mindset, I'm going to get the same results. If you still have the same mindset, I don't care where you go or who you learn from or whatever. If your mindset doesn't change, you're going to continue to get the same results. And that's why we can go from place to place to place and never get the results that we want. That's what my focus is in the building consistency in your trading is. It's all about helping you build a new mindset. And it's like building a house. Building that mindset is like building a house. And you have to build that foundation first. Because days like I had today, if I didn't have that foundation and I didn't know how to rinse and repeat, I could have destroyed myself today. But I didn't. With a little luck, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, with a little luck, I might have saved myself from a red day. I don't know yet. I'm not looking because the day is still going. I don't want to, if I see it, I might start trying to trade again. And I can trade up until 8 o'clock. And I don't want to do it. Today is not a good day. And we'll talk about that a little bit further. But one of the things I did, one of the books I read in the very beginning that helped me to understand what I needed, and that I needed to change the way I was thinking. Because every place I went, I was thinking, I don't have a whole lot of money. So that put me in a limited mindset, and it made me feel smaller compared to some people that said they had all of this. So there was a lot of things that had me held down. And I found this book. Well, actually, my wife brought it to me. She went to a conference, and this guy spoke, Chris Gardner. He was the guy that the movie The Pursuit of Happiness was about. So he wrote this book too, Start Where You Are. And it's basically start where you are with what you have. Because what you have is plenty. And, here's a guy who was basically homeless and, in an internship program where he didn't get paid. But that's where he started, and look at where he is now. And so I'm like, look, I've got all of these advantages that he didn't have. So there's no excuse for me not to excel. There's no excuse. So that began my mindset transformation. So it wasn't about moving from place to place to place. It was about changing my mindset. And then I began to understand, hey, it's my mindset that's holding me back in this trading. It's not just the limiting mindset that I had. It was a whole lot of other stuff. And so that's where my pyramid came from. And that's what I'm going through with you guys. So is what I'm sharing with you for free worth $1 million? Absolutely. I'll put everything I own on that. So don't take it lightly. You know, just moving from place to place, you may have a fresh perspective. You may have a fresh view. The view may be more beautiful where you are. The grass may be greener. But unless your mindset changes, you're going to still get the same shitty results. That's going to look and smell like the worst excrement you can ever imagine. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that. So today, we saw the market sell off. We opened below the 5-day. We sold off a little. So that kind of led us into, you know, having a bearish day. Doesn't mean the bears are in charge. The bulls are still firmly in charge. You can see how it got bought up. If you look at the 5-minute chart, you can see we did have some bad news, some negative news, economic news. I think Walter spoke today. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I call him, President Biden. What's that comedian that does all the dummies? Damn, I can't remember his name. One of his characters is Walter, and he plays Biden really good. So we have this joke at home about calling him Walter. But I think Yellen put out a statement, some other stuff. I don't care about what the news is. I just look at the reaction to it and try to make sure that I'm positioned accordingly. But you can see how the market sold off. But once it put in the bottom, we made a higher low, made a nice higher high, pull back, made another higher low, another higher high, another higher low, another higher high. So going into the close, we did do some selling, which is typical. But you could see we're still kind of holding up. No, we didn't clear the 200. But that's not to say tomorrow we wake up and this damn thing's gapped up and running. You just don't know at this point. So what I'm looking at is potentially tomorrow we can test the 20-day, kind of like we did here. You know, look at this candle. You know, looks kind of the same. You know, look at this candle when it was under the 5-day. So they all look they look pretty much the same. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but when we start looking for clues to try to give us an edge on what may happen, versus something else, I'm thinking we may get a test to the 20 versus a test to the top of this channel. You know, that's kind of my thing. So I'm not calling it one way or the other. I'm telling you these are the two things it could do. But until we break below this 50-day and the bottom channel, as far as I'm concerned, my sentiment is going to be bullish. Now, for swing trading, this is the crappiest market I've experienced in all the years that I've been swing trading. this is not. I mean, look how tight this channel is. This ascending channel. The only time we had good opportunities is like a week right here, a week right here, a week right here. And that's it. It's abysmal. So I want a pullback. I want a deep pullback. I mean, I'm cheering for that so that I could get my swings are so far behind this year. This second part of the year that it's not even funny. But day trading is clicking right along. We have opportunities every day, but swing trading, it is a killer. So let's get into my day real quick. I was a little aggressive with Path. This was the stock that reported earnings yesterday, and we took out the 52-week low. All right, we sold off, and we bounced coming into the open. So I'm like, ooh, we're rejecting the 52-week low. Well, this stock isn't 52 weeks old, but this is the low, the all-time low here. So I felt, we get going, this thing could get wrecked. So I'm trying to get in here, and then I realized it's on short sale restriction. So my market order got rejected. So I had to go back in and use my short sale restriction hot button. And it essentially chases the stock down until we get an uptick. And it works pretty good most of the time, but every now and then I get a really bad entry. And that's kind of what we got here, about 25 cents off of where I wanted to get in. And then it sold off and got stuck, and it just ripped back up on me. I was looking for a 55. That's all I wanted on this first one. I would have taken 80 cents and just kind of worked it out after that. If I just got a base hit on this, bail me out, great. I'd have been happy. But it turned and it ripped against me, stopped me out. So that's fine. No big deal. I know taking these trades, these types of trades are a lot more riskier than the traditional 5-minute opening range breakout where I'm waiting the 5 minutes and, waiting to trade to move and all of that. This is a lot more riskier, but you can make some quick profit on this. But, it didn't work out. So I was okay with that, ready to move on. PayPal was another one on my watch. I was actually looking for this to the long side over 294 coming into today, but it took that out pre-market early, and it worked its way up. And so I thought I was going to look at shorting this off at 300 anyway. But going into the open, it started selling off. And here's the opening 5-minute candle, 5-minute low here. We went back and tested the 100. We started selling through. I didn't want to take it here because we were dealing with the 200. So I patiently waited for it to claim the 200, meaning we closed below it, and then the next candle makes a lower low. I got it, and then it took my soul. All right, so it bounced up. Here's the problem. During this time, my wife was texting me. She was having some issue, and I was in this trade. I just got in this trade. So I'm not paying 100% attention. I'm watching the wrong stock on Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is what I use for my charting. I just have this streaming so you guys can see my platform. I trade on DOS. So you guys can see the platform. You can see when the orders hit, what time, the price, the position size, where on the chart it hits, so you can see all of this. But I'm actually looking and making trading decisions on my Thinkorswim chart. I was looking at COUP chart, which is another stock I had on watch. versus the PayPal chart. And so by the time I realized I was looking at the wrong chart, it had blown my stop. So I'm up here and I'm like, okay, I could panic out and I could have taken a big loss here and panicked. Or I could have waited and said, okay, I've already blown up. I mean, my day is wrecked. I can give it a little bit to test all of this resistance up here. Now, if it was trading through this resistance, then I know I'm in a squeeze. I need to get the hell out before I really get hurt. But we didn't get that. It actually rejected off of this really nicely. And the next test was to come back through the 200, which this did very aggressively. So when you see that, I'm feeling really good now. I'm like, wow, this works out great. And then it goes back. Boop. What's that thing? Yo-de-do-de-do-de-do. Goes straight up. And then, or does it say that when it's going down? I can't remember. But we rejected the 200, which if we had claimed the 200, I would have taken this off, because no telling what the hell would have happened with this. So I started selling back off, and I got frustrated. It started selling through. My first target was down here, and it started selling through. It took out the low. I thought we were going to get it, and then it bounced. And I'm like, shit, this candle opened and it started pushing up. I just took some off. I'm like, I can't deal with this. My patience is shot. It's been a long morning. I've dealt with a lot. You know, my wife had called me back here and kind of got me discombobulated. You know, I try to tell people, don't call me the first hour of trading if you can just leave it be. But it is what it is. Fortunately, it worked out beautifully. I took a little bit off here at my original target, so at least I would hit that if it bounced. It did try to bounce a little bit, and then it just washed out and hit my last target, which was a nice surprise to me. After everything today, that was a nice surprise. I felt pretty good going to lunch. But of course, I got in my mind that, okay, I'm probably back break even. I need to keep my eye on these things. So I laid out a list of stocks I'm watching while I was on lunch. So you saw me get into, well, if you were there, you saw this pop up. I got into SQ on this channel break. I waited for it to confirm. I got in. It started to sell. And I wasn't really paying attention. No, I had gone to lunch. I set this. I went to lunch. And I'm like, okay, great. This is going to work out perfect. And I went to lunch like I always do. I take a little nap if I can. Try to take a 15 to 45 minute nap. And then come back for the afternoon session. When I have a lot of mentor sessions, I have to readjust it. But today, that was a deal. Unfortunately, I didn't wake up from my nap. This was one of those days where I guess I burned up all my mental energy in the morning dealing with what I dealt with. So my first target, I got stopped out. This was my first target for the short trade. Because I was asleep, I never took the target off. I never knew I was stopped out. And then I didn't wake up till after 4 o'clock, or right at 4, a little bit after 4. And I didn't even realize I was in this trade until, I woke up and I looked at it and I ended up taking it off here. If I was awake and I took it off here, I'd have been really in good shape. But that's why this was only 200 shares, because this was my first cover on this. So I was fortunate that I didn't get hurt, so I had a little bit of luck. For me, the definition of luck is the product of skill and preparation. So I got a little bit of luck, and that helped me out. I don't know where I'm at right now. I know I'm close, but I don't want to know if I'm where I'm at because I don't want to take any more trades. So I'll update you tomorrow on where I am as far as money. I'm not. Now, I promise you I'm not going to look because I'll end up trying to trade one of these stocks that reported earnings, and to give myself a couple of dollars here or there, I don't want to do that. So I'm done. I am done for the day. But that, this is just one of those days where things just didn't work out. But I did not put myself in a position to where I would give back all of the $1,300 I made yesterday. I just didn't do it. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to close it out. Going to go in, take a rest, reset the batteries, put them in the charger, and get back here tomorrow so we can make some noise. So you guys have a great night, great evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.